Mm. Well, no, you did not miss the start. I just started it a couple minutes early. I figured with the way my week has been going, I wanted to make sure everything was working properly before 2 o'clock. I thought about going to get a snack, but since I have to talk, I don't think he's want to listen to me eating Doritos. Well, but no, we did not start. I just wanted to make sure. Is my sound working? Can you hear me today? It should be working. Hmm. Yeah, chat is very slow. At least it's not just me. Well, hopefully it improves during the stream. I don't know what it is that's causing it to be slow today, but I'm getting like a ton of messages all at once. Yeah, hopefully it wakes up. Hopefully. So let me look. I see Rebecca. Hi, Sarah. I don't know Dakali. Dakali. I don't. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. So hi there. I don't know who else is here. Um, Comments are running very slow, so it could take who knows how long till I see the comments. Hoping it would speed up. Let me try something real quick before we get started. Maybe something. Hi, Lori. Hi, Elizabeth. Oh my gosh. Well, that's not going to work. Yeah, everything is really slow. I tried to go to YouTube in another window and I can see everything there. Unfortunately, though, then I hear myself twice. So that's just not going to work because it would absolutely drive me crazy. But hopefully, everything else is running up to speed. You know what, though? Maybe if I just give me 1 second, let me see if I can figure out an alternate way to do this so I can see comments as they're supposed to be. Let me get this. That's what I ju yeah, you know what? That's what I just did. I went back to YouTube, and now I can see everything right on YouTube, but I just, muted it, so I'm not hearing myself all the time. So you guys can still hear me, and everything is working as it should be, and you guys are seeing the screen like you should be. All right. That is awesome. All right, that works for me. As long as everybody can see what's going on, because yes, the chat comments in my StreamYard are very, very delayed. Very delayed. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Lori. Hi, Sue. Elizabeth. I can't remember if I got you or not, but okay. So, junk journals. I did the video. Hi, Marlena. I did the video not long ago, just a few days ago, in fact, on making junk journals and how quick it is to create the papers for them. But we all know most people are selling more than just the background papers. We've got tags and ephemera and a variety of pages like you see here on my screen. We've got the ephemera here, we've got the tags, we've got little pockets, envelopes, little tags for word strips, and quote cards, and just a ton of different things that you can add to these junk journals. Now, I am not a junk journaler, so I'm going to tell you straight up, there could be little pieces here missing that people might want. um, you may have to do a little tweaking with some of these, like using uh, Canva templates or something like that to get them exactly as you want them. But we're getting the foundation for a full basic kit that you can work with pretty darn quickly. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Donna. Hi, Donna. I wondered who 1111 was. All right. So, what I did was I put together June, your junk journal genie. Okay. And what she does is she will help you create basic junk journal kits super, super fast. And you don't even have to know what the heck you want to create. Like, if you come over here and you know what you want to do, that's great. You just type in the subject and the mood or whatever, and she'll prompt you the rest of the way. Hi, Renee. Hi, Shayna. But if you don't have any idea, it's all right. You can come in here and click on the Hi June, and it says, I want to make a junk journal kit, but I'm not sure what theme to pick. Can you give me some ideas? You just met her, Rebecca. You don't even know. You don't even know her yet. And already she's your new best friend. So if you put in help me, she will give you a bunch of different ideas for various junk journal themes. Okay. And I am looking at these, and I think let's do the Gothic Apothecary. And I'm just going to copy what she gave me. And I'm going to paste that right into the window. And now she's going to ask me a couple little questions. Do I want any specific textures or accents? Do I want parchment, lace, stitching, foils, distress layers, anything like that? And I'm just going to tell it parchment because I just think parchment goes really well with junk journals. So I'm just going to tell her I want parchment. And that's all. That is it. nothing more. And she is spitting out all the prompts for me to create your basic junk journal kit. Now, I'm going to show it to you in Midjourney because Midjourney is really my favorite tool for junk journals just because of the look they give. But even doing this one prompt at a time in Midjourney, we're still going to have this done in just a couple minutes. And like I said, obviously, this is just our basic design. You know, you'll want to tweak these. Hi, Tosin. Hi, Kathy. You'll want to tweak these, and, you know, you can use the, um, Canva templates to make some of the pockets and the foldable things of that nature. But you have your images, you have your designs that you can just drag and drop then into those. And I know I'm just going back and forth because I'm just copying and pasting each one of these. Oops, doesn't like this one. Which one? Collage page of cut out Gothic apothecary pieces. Blood. I bet it's blood. I bet it's the blood that's doing it. So let's replace blood with dark and see if that helped. Nope. Cut out. Let's get rid of cutout. And some of these drive me crazy with these. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Sharon. With these sensors, because you never know what the heck it is that you did wrong. Why is this taking so long? What is up with Midjourney now? Let me reload it. Oh my goodness. Is it just Midjourney? It might be. Okay. Well, then, even better. Let's go to Artistly. If you click on Create Design and come down here and click on your Fast AI Image Designer, okay? In here, instead of using the Create from Prompt, use the Artistic Designer. And you can do this. I mean, the Artistic Designer really puts out some nice output. And I'm just going to do 2 images for each so we can see these. And let's see. I've noticed when I use just like the clip art prompt in Artistly. I know, right? It is absolutely crazy how they are censoring that, and I haven't really figured out what it was that was being censored. I mean, I can go back to Midjourney and see if it's loading. Obviously, it's a Midjourney issue because I'm having no problem with Artistly loading. Yeah, it's definitely a Midjourney problem right now. And of course it is. It's the one time. Oh, where do we do? Oh, the new grunge scrapbook and AI art illustrator. Yes, that too. I did not even think about using that one. Let me reload this and see if these are done. Yeah. But we've got some really nice images just using the artistic designer instead of the like prompt, the clip art. So those are some of your backgrounds. And let me go back over. Let's get a few more. And you know what? Let's try the Where are we here? The AI art illustrator. Let's find the grunge. Let me look. Where are you? Of course, I can't find it when I'm actually, yeah, let's do the grunge scrapbook. Paste that in there. Let's do 2 images. Do it in there. And I'm just going to go back to the artistic designer for now. And I just want to run all these prompts quick that we got since, you know, Midjourney decided to act a fool today. Is anyone surprised that Midjourney decided to act up today? I mean, have we ever had a single live where something didn't act up? So I'm not surprised at all. I'm just happy that it's not something on my end that was acting up, you know? So let me grab some more of these. Let me grab these and run them through here quick. I could always come in here to not artistic designer, AI design agents, and into the clip art, and I could just grab all of the rest of these and paste them in. And I don't even know how many I had left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Create 7 images and generate it like that. But I am not sure, what kind of style we'll get using this feature. I prefer to use the artistic designer or, um, like Shayna said, the grunge scrapbook rather than the clip art, because I think we get a little bit different style. Because as you can see, we're getting some really nice stuff here. This is from the grunge scrapbook, which is really nice. This is from the artistic designer. That looks amazing. And so does this one. That looks really great too. Let's open this in a new tab, make it bigger for you. But that looks, yeah, the purple potion bottles, these and the beakers, they are really nice. And then we have this one. And again, we're just getting such really nice images here. I am really impressed. And then some of our ephemera that you can, break out of here on its own if you wanted to. And see, now here you can tell these are the ones we ran through on the like clip art setting. So our style is a lot different. And not that they don't look good, but they're not the style I would be looking for in a junk journal. So let me grab some of these others here. The 6 tags. Let me run that through Artistic Designer. And let me grab some of these others. The word strips. How about the vintage ephemera? Let's run that through. Hopefully Midjourney gets its act together and we can check them out in there too, because Midjourney is always my favorite for junk journal style prompts. It always does such a great job. For junk journals, they should be, most are 8.5 by 11. You can do them at 8.5 by 11, and they can then size them to half sheets if they want to. I think it's up to the user how, what size they like. I typically, if I'm going to make junk journal pages, I typically just do 8.5 by 11. I don't do square because I know, for junk journals, people are definitely printing these out, and not everyone has the wide format printers. And when you try and take a square image down to 8.5 by 11, you are definitely cutting off. Um, in Midjourney, I just use my regular. Are we going to even load? Hold on. I mean, I'm not even sure it's going to load for me here. Yeah, oh, there we go. Oh, okay then. It is definitely acting a fool. Oh yeah, there's something wrong with Midjourney right now. We're not going to find out. But I just use my standard, just standard setting. I don't use any personalization or anything like that. Right. When you have to go from a 12 by 12 or whatever down to 8.5 by 11, you lose so much of those edge details, turning it into a rectangle, that I usually make mine at, like 8.5 by 11 or something close to that. I think 4:3 aspect ratio, 4:3 is pretty close. Now, this is what these tags look like running them in the Artistic Designer versus running them in the, like, bulk, just the clip art prompts. Now, it all depends on what you prefer, what style you prefer. If you like this one better, I'm partial to the really grungy look. 4:5. Okay. I knew it was 4:3, 4, 4:3. I can't remember half the time without looking. There's just too many numbers in my head. You know what I mean? Too many numbers. But that I just prefer this look over this look, but I know some people do. Midjourney has an outage right now. Yep. Okay. Of course, since 2:07. Absolutely. Yeah. And it will probably last till 3 o'clock, because that's when our live ends. And that's just how our lives go every week. Something does not work. So I guess, today we are just going to stick with Artistly, because, I'll be honest, I love a lot of the other image generators, but quite honestly, now let me look here. Well, this is original Dolly. Let's do this. We can run them in Chat GPT. That would probably give us some pretty good output, their new image generator. However, I didn't want that. I wanted you to create an image. However, their new image generator is so darn slow. It would take you forever to generate all your images using the Chat GPT Dolly. Oh, now it's going to make a liar out of me and pop up pretty quick, right? But no, Artistly is doing a fantastic job. You just have to, try some of the different settings, and see which one you like best. Like I said, I prefer the Artistic Designer for something like this, or even the grunge. They are. I mean, somebody just doesn't like us to do our lives every week. Somebody somewhere has it out for us. But that's just too darn bad, because we are going to keep on going. I mean, unless my power goes out again, right? If my power goes out like it did the other week, then, we just have to stop. But I think I have had enough natural disaster for this week. My basement is still not dry. My dehumidifier has been running since Monday, and it is still wet. The township came and brought me, they called it fill, but it's like rocks the size of, I mean, they barely fit in a fist. They're just giant rocks, and they just threw them in the gorge that washed out. So we still are going to have to bring in a truckload of regular stone, but I just didn't even want to deal with it anymore this week. So I know I did just jinx myself, didn't I? We'll see though. We'll see. But so these are really nice. They are looking really, really good. These are like our word strips, you know. Oh, look at that. That is, see, I'm not even a fan of that on Chat GPT, the word strips. I'm not a fan of that at all. Not when we get ones that look like this in Artistly. So I guess Chat GPT isn't really an option. And here's some more little washi strip and little labels that you could print out and they can cut out. And here's another version of them, and they look really good too. But everything is in here. You have one image with 9 different washi strip and label designs, 4 blank quote cards, word strips, apothecary, well, the envelopes, a tuck pocket, tags, just a random mix of ephemera like uh, stamps, tickets, postcards, things like that. Right? No wonder I had a migraine. It has been a week. It has really been a week. The worst part is my son called me from work Monday morning, and he's like, he had left at like 4:30, and it was like a monsoon outside, he said, and he still got out of the driveway. Everything hadn't washed away yet, but he said he was warning me that the roads were flooded to the right and to the left, and the only reason he made it to work is he only works like a mile and a half up the road. So by the time he called me, he was like, "Oh, and by the way, is the basement okay?" Well, I had just found the washout outside, and I didn't even think about it. It's like, "Yeah, yeah, basement's fine, but everything else washed away." And then I opened the basement door, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's not fine. 6 inches of water." Ugh, it was terrible. But it is what it is. So this was just our Gothic apothecary. If we want to do this again, we just say, June, let's make another set. Give me some more ideas. And June will give us more ideas. So this time we've got Antique Carnival. That's a really cute idea. Haunted Manor Library, Secret Garden, Time Worn Maps and Relics, Rococo Perfume Cabinet, Celestial Victorian Circus. I would go there. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Midjourney's having an outage. So I can do this. Let's do Celestial Victorian Circus. I was expecting because of the ox blood that it would. Yeah, June is absolutely, water is ridiculous. It is just unbelievable what it can do. Yeah. All right, let's see what it says here. Love that choice. Love that choice. I need a picture of like Alexis from Schitt's Creek on there. That's what that reminds me of. So what do we want on here? Textures or accents? Victorian Circus. Let's try some lace and see what we get. Alrighty, so I am just going to do the same thing. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to run these through one at a time. You know what? Let's go into my designs only because I'm feeling a little lazy, and maybe I can run some of these in bulk so you guys don't have to sit here and just watch me run one at a time. Let's go in here. Let's use select all. Let me paste them in. Parallel prompt. I'm trying to decide which one might be the best. I'm going to try Imogen or Imagine, and we're going to run that. And let's run it in. Let's run it. Is it 4-3? No, 3-4. Let's try that because they don't have the aspect ratio we would prefer. But let's just look at what we get with Imogen or Imagine. I don't know. However, Google wants me to pronounce that. But in here, we can run them all at one time so we can look at them a little quicker. We may not get the exact style we are hoping for, but we'll get an idea. You know, you get to see an idea of what they'll look like. And it's really up to you what image generator you use. It all depends on your preference when it comes to style and looks and things like that. I mean, you could run these in ideogram, you could run them in Chrome, you could run them in Night Cafe, you could run them in Leonardo, you can run them anywhere. The prompts will work anywhere. It's just what you like. Ah, yeah, that's true. I could try Dolly too. Yeah. But even what is the hang up today? Well, we got some. These look nice. That looks really, really nice. But I don't know why everything is taking forever. They really should have. I wonder if Midjourney and Google are on some of the same have some of the same server things going on, the cloud or whatever. Or my design. Oh, look, some of my dreams failed. How about that? Let's see which ones didn't. Okay, we've got one here. Yeah, this looks nice though. I really like how that came out. Hi, Joe. Hi, Johnny. Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of things are been binging content. That's what happens when you binge too much. But if it were me, I would jump on the Artistly Lifetime deal. Absolutely. Um, I keep hearing rumblings from the developers that they are soon going to switch it over to a monthly subscription, and it is just improving by the day. So I would jump on the Lifetime. It is absolutely worth it. We have been using it for, if you missed, I don't know if you were here for the full live so far, but we have been using it to generate some really nice prompts or nice images for our junk journal that we're doing. In fact, I'm going to do a couple in here now since my designs is acting up just like all the rest of them. So I'm going to run these one at a time because I prefer the look of the artistic designer rather than the bulk generator. But you will at least be able to see what kind of output. And we are doing, what are we doing? Celestial Victorian Circus. That's what we're doing right now. June came up with our prompts for us. And we are going to run these. Yeah, I mean, I was going to use Midjourney for this, but like everybody sees, Midjourney is still not functional. So we're going to stick with Artistly. And there is one of our backgrounds, which is kind of cute. Let's see what else is coming. See, everybody's failing on some images today. I'm starting to wonder if this isn't a much more widespread problem than what we thought in the beginning. But that's okay. We can look through here. Here's another one of our backgrounds for the vintage circus. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, if you are a member in the Profit Society group, the link is already in the Creative Prompt Library for you. I've already put that in there on the sidebar. And it will also be listed under our custom GPT link. Yeah, because I do not have a personal discount code for Artistly yet. Um, I do have a referral link for Artistly, but not a personal coupon code as of yet. I'm still trying to finagle one out of the developers. And here's another one of our backgrounds that looks pretty cool. I like that one. And then this one is really nice. That one is gorgeous. The link here under the video, that's fine. Yeah, you might have been able to find a code somewhere. I'm not sure if there's any active right now or not. And here are our tags. Those tags are absolutely gorgeous for this Victorian circus. Leonardo, really? I typically have fairly decent luck with Leonardo. Um, Now, for something like this, for like junk journals, I don't think it's the absolute best because, like, here are some I ran in Leonardo earlier. Um, but overall, I usually get some pretty decent images out of Leonardo. Let's try running the tags. Let's try running these tags in Leonardo. And I have mine set to Phoenix 1.0, auto, dynamic, medium contrast. I mean, I have over 30,000 tokens here, and it's just so darn cheap. I could run all day and not blow through them. But I don't typically have too much problem. Like, here are our tags in Leonardo. Um, like I said, they're not exactly the style I am looking for when I do a junk journal, but they generated pretty nicely. What kinds of issues are you having with I mean, I don't. It depend. I guess it really depends on what kind of image you're trying to generate. But no, Artistly is doing an amazing job. This looks fantastic. Some of these images I'm getting out of the artistic designer are they remind me a lot of what I would get out of Midjourney, a lot of the times with the look and the feel. Is there still a code in the group that works? Yeah, see, even Artistly is hitting me with some failed to generates. So I am thinking this is a much more widespread. I love ideogram. I really do for typography. And that's about it anymore. And Artistly, I got to tell you, Artistly's text is almost as good. I mean, it's not quite. Ideogram is top dog, I think, when it comes to getting the text right and the typography. But Artistly is really getting better. So here's some the quote cards, and I set all of these prompts up inside of June. Like we have ones here for 9 vintage word strips. Okay, where you can put words, affirmations and things like that. But I put all of these to run blank. Yeah, typography in Leonardo isn't the greatest. Trying to get something like an ideogram. Ideogram is in a class of its own, I think, when it comes to text. But I don't really have a whole lot of problem with text in Leonardo either. And I'm not trying to run things with long, long, drawn out words, but for the most part, but these word strips, I've deliberately had June create them blank because, we don't, typography doesn't always work. Text doesn't always work. So I would rather make these blank and then you can add your own words to them inside of Photoshop, inside of Canva, wherever you want. Yeah, see, it's definitely a much more widespread problem than just Midjourney. So, yeah, because, like I said, even Artistly here is acting a fool. But at least we were able to see what is going on. We were able to run our prompts before everything, before all the image generators went into the toilet today. But let's just see here. We've got a couple here processing for like washi tape and labels. Here's another of the backgrounds that Artistly created for this, which I think looks really good. But June will help you come up with your ideas. It even asks you here, do you want a matching cover page or some journal cards, things like that. If you want to add something to it, will it will do that for you. If you come in here and you just have a color palette in mind, let's say I'm thinking of a fall themed color palette. Give me some theme ideas for it. If you already have your color palette in mind, it's going to come in here and it will just give you a bunch of themes that would go along with your color palette. Like here we have rustic poets, typewriters, ink bottles, fallen leaves, layered with handwritten poetry in a grungy academic style, uh, tea and tattered pages. So it's not just gonna it it doesn't matter how far you are along in the thinking process. June will help you finish, whether it is like I said, whether you come in here with an idea or you can come in here and you can tell her, um, Just give her a subject. Give me a subject, somebody. Any subject at all. What should we make a junk journal kit from? Anybody have a suggestion to give her? No? We like how she thinks for us? Or am I here by myself? Did everything go to crap and I am now stuck here in my live all alone? Or is chat not working again? All right. Antique. All right. Antique. Antique. I'm just going to go antique. Oh, vintage damask. That's something different. I wonder what she does with that. Vintage damask. Let's say, what kind of look are we going for here? Let's go grungy. And no accents. We're just going to let her run with it. I didn't even give her a color palette. Top and charcoal gray she came up with on her own. Here are our washi tape and labels, so those came out pretty nice. Washi strips. But let's look and see what she gave us for a background for our damask. Distressed damask. But yeah, like I said, even if you have a general idea in mind, just give her that. And she will walk you through turning that idea into a finished idea. I'm telling you, isn't she? She is smarter than the rest of us combined. Because you don't know how often even I will sit down and I'll look at the screen and I'll be like, I don't even know where to start. I just have no idea where to start. This is gorgeous. I really like that. I like that one. Let's see what else we've got here. This one's nice with the cracked look. That is great. And we've got this one. But that is nice looking. So and now we'll move on to the writing paper. We have 3 different basic backgrounds. And then she's supposed to give us one for writing that doesn't have a lot of stuff in the middle. And then we get a decorative page. And then after that, we start getting our different pieces. This is our, like a layered. So here is our writing page. Even put some lines on this one. That one looks nice. So for this set, we'd have 1, 2, 3 basic damask backgrounds. Then we have our writing. Then we get the decorative, and then the fragments. This is our decorative. It's a lot more bold and bright. Then the next one should be like torn edges and fragments and things of that nature. And then we move into our ephemera. Our ephemera and our pockets and our envelopes. Oops. Okay, and this is our like the fragments, more of our layered look, the page that's, more layered than the others. And this is our ephemera with tickets and stamps and things of that nature that you can pull out our collage. Yep. And then we have our tags. And then this is it says tuck pocket, but it looks more like an envelope to me, but it still looks good, so I'm not going to argue the point. And then let's move on to the rest of the pieces of the set. We have the mask envelopes. Word strips. Quote cards. And the washi strips and labels. What the heck? Okay. And then here are the envelopes that it created. Those look good. And it's supposed to give you 9 word strips, but I don't know why they cannot count sometimes. You could do it that way. Yeah, Magic Grab might do it. Um, that would probably be I would probably almost do it like I do clip art, where I would just create a page for as many pieces, individual pieces are on the sheet, and then just crop down around them. Or I would do them in Photoshop and just use the freehand selection and pick them apart that way. I think Magic Grab sometimes doesn't pick enough or picks too much. But this is supposed to be washi strip and labels, and this time we just got like the washi strips, but that's okay too. You just don't know what you want or what you're going to get. It's AI, right? Crop and erase, that's usually what I do. I have a video somewhere about doing clip art in Canva. When you make the full clip art sets and you want to, you know, turn them into single images in Canva. I do have a video somewhere, and I would do it the same way as I do clip art. I would just, in fact, let's shoot into Canva quick, and I'll show you real fast what I would do. Let me grab, let's say, these tags. I'm going to drag them over, drop them in. And there are 6 tags on here. So I am going to make 6 copies of this page. 1, 2, 3. Oop, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what I would do is I would just start cropping just like this. Make it bigger, remove the background, and upscale, and go from there. And then in this one, I would move over to this image, just like this. And go from there and just repeat until I had all of them done like that. Tags, I think a lot of it is personal preference. Tags to me, I think a lot of times what people are making them like 2 by 3 or 3 by 4. Um, a lot of people will use like regular tags that you can buy where they decorate them themselves. So I would probably make my tags like this the same way. So let's look on Amazon because I do not really make junk journals much. So let's just do, what are they called? Paper tags with strings. Let's look. Yeah, basically we're talking like these kind of tags. This is what a lot of people will buy and decorate. So you're looking at, like these are 4 3/4 by 2 3/8. So I would probably look around and make them close to that, maybe 4 by 2.5. I don't know. I would, honestly, that is something I would peek on other people and find out what size most everybody else is making them and go from there. Like I said, I really don't do junk journals, but every now and then I will make a pack of papers, and now I might make a pack of tags, but I would have to, like I said, I would definitely have to look that up and see what everybody else. Oh, nobody lists sizes. Well, how about, here's a way to find out. Let's go to Creative Fabrica and let's do junk journal Canva template. Certainly, we've got Canva templates for tags. Uh, or just download a kit, and you could even just download a kit and look and see what size their tags are and their different pieces in their kit. Download a done kit and check and see what sizes everything is in it and go from there. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, they will. And like I said, some of them will even buy these tags, and decorate them themselves. But if you can get them where you don't have to decorate them, yay. This just to me is a whole lot more work than I care to do. What is this here? Is this a tag here? No, that's like a fold over. Okay, when folded, this says 3.5 by 5. So that's kind of like a pocket of some sort there. Journal. Junk journal tag. Here we go. Here we go. Let's look at these. Looks like they've got 9 on a sheet. And these tags are going to be 1.5 by 3 inches. A folio, is that what that's called? See? I told you I don't junk journal. It had little things that folded over. It looked like a pocket to me. But yeah, these are showing 1.5 by 3 inches for most of these tags. Now, of course, these all look like they're from the same. Those all look like they came from the same artist. So let's look at a different one here. Yeah, this one, these tags are 5.11 inches by 2.64. Those seem huge. So apparently there is no set rule. There you go. Yes, as long as they fit into the pockets and envelopes you make. Yes. So it's all going to be up to your pockets and envelopes, which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. But yeah, like here's scallop tags 4.77 by 2.45. So, there's really no hard and fast rule on tag size. Just make sure everything you do um, works together. Right. Yeah, you don't have to do PNG because they are typically they're downloading these, they're not looking for well, the only problem is if you are selling single things like this, like these tags, well, it really doesn't matter because printers don't print white. So if they're printing them out, it doesn't matter. They're not getting a white background. They're going to cut. Yeah, I mean, you could actually, put different color. Yeah, but JPEG and PDF for sure, I know, is your typical formats for junk journals. Man, you guys are making me think. Um, 300 DPI is, you can do 300 DPI, but honest to goodness, if the biggest you're printing is 8.5 by 11, as long as you have made your image and you've upscaled it and you made sure it's a quality image and it's not blurry, you could do, 96 DPI, even 150 DPI. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and you can take any of these images that were created in your kit and use them for your tags, and you can swap them out, and if you drop them into a frame, let's look let's let's look over here. Elements, frames, let's look for tag. Right here is a tag frame, and we can pop that right in there, and you can bring your images right in and just like Shana said, just drop them in, and you can move them around so they'll look different depending on. You should. I mean, upscaling just makes everything crisper, and these images aren't being generated in the highest quality. Even in Artistly here, now you can upscale right here. In case you don't know that, let me show you where I am going. Where am I going? Design assistants. Design assistant AI upscaler. Choose from your library, and you can grab an image and you can upscale it, and you see here it also you can convert it to 300 DPI just in case. Yeah, yeah. Fancy shapes and use them for tags. That's a great idea. So this will upscale. Did I click upscale or didn't I? Okay, that's the original. Okay, now this is processing. It is upscaling to 496 by 4096 by 4096. All right. So if we open this in another window, this is a huge, huge file. But it still looks good because we upscaled it and it's grungy anyway. But we can also now go back here to Design Assistants, AI Upscaler, choose from library, choose this last one that we just upscaled, and now we can click Convert to 300 DPI, and it will do that too for us. I don't know if you know that you could do that in Artistly, that you can upscale and convert to 300 DPI. The bulk actions here that they're working on, you can set like a workflow to remove background, upscale, and convert to 300 DPI all at once. But they're working on that to make it better. So right now, we just have this. And this is going to tell you that the dimensions are 512 by 512, and that is a bug that they are aware of. It's really not 512 by 512. It is still 4096 by 4096, but for some reason, it just tells you that here. Let's see if that's done yet. Okay, now see, this is telling us it's 512 by 512, but if I download this, let's download it. Okay, now that's downloaded, and I am going to drag that into my photo P down here at the bottom. Where the heck am I? This one. There we go. We want to drag that into photo P. And if we click on this, image size, right there, it's telling us it is 4096 by 4096, 300 DPI. So even if it is a glitch, even though this is telling us that it's only 512 by 512, it is wrong. It's a bug, and they know it, and they will fix. They're working on it. Yes, you can upscale. You can, like I said, convert to 300 DPI, which is awesome too. And once they get this bulk action the way they want it, that's going to be huge, because you go in there and you say, this is what I want to do. I want to upscale it. Then I want to remove the background, and then I want to convert to 300 DPI, and it will do all of it one right after the other for you. So fancy shapes. Now I'm reading. Didn't realize you could. Yeah, good point. Tag designs. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't know. See, tags are weird. To me, I don't. I mean, I get why they put the hole there, but at the same time, why? Because you're just going to punch a hole in anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're all on strike today. They're driving me crazy. But so this is June, people. I hope you like her. There will be links to her. If you're a member of the AI Profit Society, she is going to be in your links on the right, the list of custom GPTs. I guess so. So it lets people know it's a tag. Yeah. I know. I'm so surprised that June didn't go on strike. And if you are in the Creative AI Prompt Library, you will also be able to find June in your library as well as one of the bonus features. Okay. Um, so there she is. I hope you guys liked her. I hope she your next cat. I hope she makes junk journal kits a whole lot easier for you. And I guess we are at almost 310. So I know this time anything that wasn't working wasn't my fault. Definitely not my fault. So I will see you guys next week. And Who knows what we'll do that week? Maybe next week we'll go back to Insight Factory. Who knows? Maybe. Or maybe we'll have something better than June for next week. Maybe we will have something better than June. That would be something, wouldn't it? All right, guys. Any questions about how to use her? Yeah, yeah. Obviously, it is definitely not me today. Yes, please. Just like Rebecca says, please hit like, and if you're not already subscribed, please, please, please subscribe. And don't forget to check out the communities. If you're not a member of either one, make sure you get into them, at least one of them. Alrighty, guys. So I'm going to head out and I'm going to get these links posted where they need to go so you can play with June. See you next week.